Hi guys, welcome back to Building Kenya. My name is Angela Chepkwony, and this is the podcast where we highlight the entrepreneurs, trailblazers, and creatives that are shaping this country's future. Today is a really exciting episode. I'm here with Eric Mureithi. He is the co-founder of Shield, the social hub for innovation, entrepreneurship, leadership, and design thinking in underserved communities. Eric, thank you for being here today.
Thanks, Angela. Really happy to be here.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling very excited. I mean, it's been a cold morning.
I know it's very Nairobi cold today.
Yeah, it's a bit crazy, but yeah, I'm really glad to be here, and thank you so much for the invitation and for hosting me today.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really excited for this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So before we begin, I'm going to ask you a very interview-like question.
Yeah.
So don't mind me. Who is Eric Mureithi? How would you describe yourself?
Yeah, that's a very hard question. No, Eric is an innovator. He's an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. He's a social entrepreneur and educator. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, as long as I'm innovating, as long as I'm tinkering, I'm going to be there. So whether it's within technology, in the edtech space, with AI, I also farm. Maybe that's not something that I've mentioned to you yet.
Oh, you farm?
But yeah.
What kind of things do you farm?
I do capsicum.
Oh, okay.
And then I have goats. I keep goats.
Okay. Oh, interesting. I would have never known that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So apart from the tech, what do you do for fun? What's a normal weekend looking like for Eric?
Yeah. So for me, Saturday, Sunday. So I'm very active in church. So I'll probably be planning for a service. But yeah, I also love to spend time with friends. So I'd probably, be out somewhere with a friend of mine, maybe doing lunch or a movie or just vibing out, a drive to wherever. Yeah, that's what I like to do in my free time. Just hang out with friends, lunches, that kind of thing.
Nice. I mean, you do more than me. I like to just read and sleep. So
yeah, that's really cool. I like that.
Yeah. So now let's talk about Shield. Take me back to the beginning. How was Shield conceptualized? So
Shield is, like you mentioned, an acronym for Social Hub for Innovation, Entrepreneurship, Leadership, and Design Thinking. Started conceptualizing it in 2022. I was still in uni at the time with my co-founder, James. Yeah, we were very active in football. In fact, I played football at junior national level at under 17 and under 20 level, right? Mm-hmm. Around the time I was 18 or 19, I started playing in the local leagues here, traveling across the country, Taita, Mombasa, Makueni. Yeah, with my co-founder, we were, of course, very talented, but we realized that it's not sustainable, of course, after a few conversations, we realized that, hey, we actually have similar motivations, similar drive, and we started thinking with our skill sets, what can we do for communities that are close to our hearts, right? So I grew up playing a lot of football in Kibera. My co-founder actually grew up in Kibera, so he's really good at business development, the entrepreneurship side of things. Very my primary discipline is in technology, right? And so we just started thinking, what can we do? We also realized that a lot of the innovation hubs that exist in Kenya exist in more affluent areas. So think about the Kilimanis, think about the Lower Kabetes, think about Westlands, right? Not enough of them exist in underserved regions where a lot of social problems exist. So unemployment, GBV, amongst others, right? We said, look, what if we take infrastructure that exists in these areas, place them in the heart of where most of these social problems exist, and let's see what can come out of it. So yeah, that was 2022, 2023. And yeah, it's been a journey since. We've gotten, tremendous support locally and internationally through Friends of Shield, our board, Honeycoin, TUI Care Foundation, amongst a host of others. So powering on with the vision.
Yeah, and I love that you were able to really see how the infrastructure is mostly in the developed areas, but you were able to see that gap and take it to the underserved communities. And I think that's really valuable. So I can see that the motive behind this, can I say it wasn't profit, was it?
At the moment, when we started, it was not profit. No.
It was, you wanted to help.
Yeah,
right?
100%, exactly.
So you said it's like the areas you help in Kibera. What other areas?
So we've had the privilege to do work in Kibera. Of course, that's where our hub is located. But we've also done a bit of work in Kakamega. And soon we're actually going to be in Meru. Those are some of the areas we've been able to work in.
Awesome. And you have more than 120 students in SHIELD. So what kind of work have you been able to do there? What kind of skills have your students acquired?
So we've done 5 programs now. Since we launched SHIELD. In fact, we're turning 2 years this October. So
happy birthday to you. Awesome. 2 years. Nice.
2 years. So it's going to be 2 years on October 23rd. We've done 5 programs. Through this, we've been able to upskill youth in technology, so web development, application development, artificial intelligence, blockchain. But we tie that, and this is what we call the SHIELD methodology, we tie that to design thinking and social entrepreneurship. We see technology as an enabler of business and as an enabler of enterprise. So how can we, and this has been true in our journeys as founders, where we use tech to solve, existing problems. And in turn, we believe like in solving problems for other people, in creating opportunities for other people, you create inherently, you basically create opportunities for yourself. And so, that is what we believe in SHIELD. We've upskilled youth through, of course, the design thinking workshop in Kakamega. We've done a virtual one here in Nairobi. Of course, we've done the tourism development program with TUI Group in partnership with Honeycoin LLC, fellowship program over 10 months. We've also done, we also do a bit of B2, like we actually sell courses to people. People can actually enroll into any one of our programs. So we've done that successfully. And we've also done a bit of work in the blockchain space through Presenti. So that's a bit of the scope of work. And these are some of the skills we've been able to impart in youth. Right.
And I want to recap just a little bit about design thinking, especially. For those of us who may not know, what exactly is design thinking?
So design thinking is an iterative approach to problem solving. So as opposed to, and we see this a lot with guys in tech, you want to solve problems just for yourself, but design thinking actually incorporates your eventual user's feedback into what it is you are building, right? So you start by ideating, you start by prototyping, you take that to, a small set of users, collect their feedback, and then present something that, incorporates feedback from your eventual paying users, and not, of course, neglecting your own ethos as an innovator and as a founder. So that's sort of the scope of design thinking. That's what design thinking is. It's an iterative approach to problem solving.
Very interesting. I've learned something new today. I had no idea what design thinking was. Thank you for that. And now walk me through the process. How do you get students? How do you vet the students? Do they approach you? And if so, what's the criteria they need to meet to be enrolled at SHIELD?
That's a very good question. So for our fellowship programs, it's a very strict evaluation criteria, right? So we do calls for application, but we actually do one-on-one interviews, and over 1 week have interviews, discuss, their motivations, their strengths, their weaknesses, their backgrounds, their educational backgrounds, their family backgrounds, whether they are willing to, put in the time commitment. We obviously don't just do it one-on-one. We have a panel, and based on the scores that we arrive at, based on per student, we tally them and basically on board.
And if you don't mind me asking, these students pay some fees to SHIELD.
So for our fellowship programs, they are completely free. We, through our supporters, are able to subsidize their fees. So for our fellowship programs, they're completely free. But because we're sustainable, we want to run sustainably and we're a business, we sell courses, to the public, in addition to, running a podcast studio. But for the students that come in through our fellowship programs, it's completely free. But if tomorrow Charles or whoever else wants to, come and take a course at Shield, we do charge a fee.
I think that's very, very commendable, and I'm so impressed that students from underserved communities are able to learn really for free.
Yeah.
There's no that financial barrier.
Yeah.
I love that you guys have been able to break that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And one of the things we're keen on doing, unemployment it's surging across the country and across the continent, right? If we don't do something and if we don't do it fast, we are in for a crisis. I believe by 2050, 1 in 4 people across the world will be African, right?
Yes.
And if our average age today is 19, unfortunately, we're not creating enough jobs for these people. How can we, as young people, instead of waiting for other people, government, all of these other stakeholders to come and create opportunities for us, why don't we say, with what we've got, let's actually, create a pipeline or a framework where people can be, self-sustaining. And I believe entrepreneurship and even our methodology, leveraging our methodology, can be one of the ways that, we solve this unemployment crisis that is here, and even going forward would get way worse. So it's something we're really keen on within the country, but also spreading our wings across the continent. Yeah,
so true. That's so true. The employment crisis, we need to solve it. We are the youth.
Yeah,
we are the ones. It's up to us. Once we're going to be left here, so we have to solve it.
Exactly.
Give me an example of one of your students who has been able to take the skills they learned at Shield and apply it in the real world setting.
Yeah, I'll give you an example of Esther. Esther joined our program last year, and she had a few challenges at home, right? All due respect, I won't give the details, right? But just after 3 months of doing a bit of Python, web development, and data science, in the 4th month, she was able actually to transition into IT support role, where she was making 15,000 shillings, right? For someone who's come into the program with, little to no technical background, that, speaks volumes that what you're doing actually is having an impact in the community. I'll give you another example of Christine and Tony, right? Tony, within Kibera, there's this whole thing where tourists come in and they do, tours around there's actually an arts district. So they do tours around the arts district. There's actually even a Kibera sunset, right? It's never been digitized. So these guys came up with a web platform where marketing Kibera and we're talking about building Kenya, right? Marketing the communities that we're from, getting tourists to come view it, from, setting up a date and a time, handling their payments. It's called Kibera Connect. You should probably check it out. This is something that's come out of Shield, and through the skills that we've imparted, people are starting to, create their own opportunities for themselves. So, proud of the cohort of learners. Very, very proud of them.
Yeah. Oh my goodness! Congratulations to them.
Yeah.
I cannot code for nothing. I have no idea how to code. I'm not a tech.
Should join Shield.
I should, right? Yeah. So I love that you've been able to give real life examples. So we're seeing that Shield is actually impacting the youth. Now, I want to talk a bit about the challenges, because we've talked about the good parts.
Yeah.
But I know behind the scenes, maybe sometimes you have challenges. Some bad days. So. If you could just give the audience a bit of some obstacles you faced and how you've been able to overcome them.
Yeah, where do I start? But I think at where we're located, sometimes people expect handouts, of course. So like you want to do a call for application, and what we do is, provide the skills, we provide the infrastructure, right? We provide the mentors. So, just working out, I think the mindset gap is, something we've really tried to, it's been a hurdle, it's been a challenge. I think beyond that also, like administratively and operationally, giving you like concrete examples, like because of my value system, I'm not going to cut corners with electricity, right? But yeah, when people approach you and they're like, look, everyone in the estate is doing this, we want you also to, cut corners with, something small, something like electricity. That, of course, leaves a very bad taste in my mouth. Few challenges here and there. We did a program and just getting people to actually believe that you can what you're saying you can do, you can actually deliver. We did a program with Kabete National Polytechnic, and I remember as we were presenting the idea to the principal and just the administrative team there, they were like, yeah, what you're saying you can do, so many people have told us, you can do. What makes you different? I think just having to, as a young business and being a fairly young team, sort of like work a little bit harder to prove yourself has been a bit of a challenge. But I mean, we keep rolling with the punches. I remember when we graduated the program, the cohort on that side, they were stunned and they couldn't believe just how successful that initial program was. So yeah, administratively and operationally, we have had some challenges, solving for the mindset gap. A few guys expect, some things that we're not ready to provide. And then of course, just validating yourself as an early stage enterprise, and also just constantly innovating. I think the edtech space moves really, really quickly, and yeah, just having to constantly stay on your toes, constantly have to be agile, right? So for us, those are some of the challenges we've had, and yeah. By God's grace, we've been able to also get it to the other side, make it to the other side.
Are there days when you didn't even feel like continuing? Are there days like, you know what, like, is this really working?
Yeah.
I don't want to do this. Like, are there those days?
Yeah, so many times you wake up and you're like, damn, like, who signed up for this? Like, why am I doing this, It's not easy, like, conceptualizing something, making plans, following through with execution, reporting to multiple stakeholders. So there are times you wake up and you're like, you know what, Angela, like, I'm done. Maybe someone else can do this, right? But yeah, we roll with the punches. Failure is something we've experienced. We've been told no multiple times. We've been told no more than we've been told yes, right? In fact, my co-founder and I says, like, we collect them like infinity stones. So like,
Thanos Avengers,
yeah, exactly. We collect no's like infinity stones. Yeah, we create concepts, present them. Some people are just like, maybe not now, maybe not ever. We learn from them. And we power through, and yeah, I think the vision supersedes any one of us. So I think just holding on to the vision. Our goal is to impact at least 50,000 entrepreneurs over the next 5 years. It's very achievable, and so yeah, when we wake up and we just remember the vision, we say, you know what, we can do this.
Yeah, and I can totally relate to that.
Yeah.
Even for me, just starting this podcast, on paper, it seems so easy.
Yeah.
Let's get a camera, get a guest. But there's been a lot of challenges I've faced. But that quote that you said, the vision supersedes all of us. Your vision has to supersede all the challenges.
Yeah.
Really stick to that vision.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's like, and it's I think it's a principle. I think it's a principle of delayed gratification, right? And I think even as athletes, like, and whatever discipline you come from, I think it's something you need to always remember, right? Like, you will be told no. Your vision, like, if your why is greater than what you're feeling today, you're feeling tired, you're feeling worn out, you're feeling like, man, I can't keep doing this, But if your why is greater than, whatever it is you're feeling, you will, I believe you should be able to, by God's grace, muster the courage, muster the strength, do what you need to do.
100%.
Yeah.
And a bit tying back to your students, when you have students from underserved communities,
Yeah.
sometimes it can be a challenge for them to conceptualize a dream of, I can escape this and I can become an entrepreneur, I can do something. Sometimes it seems like such a far away dream.
Yeah.
So how do you get your students to have self-confidence and believe in the reality of their dreams and what they can become?
Yeah, that's a great question. So one of the things we do is connect them to industry experts, people who've gone before them, people who are, still within their age set, and, speak to them about what they've done, the challenges they've been able to overcome. We had Dominic Molinda from Honeycoin actually come and do a masterclass for our cohort. We've had partners from Canada actually come and, speak to, brain resilience and delayed gratification and, making plans and following through with them, right? One of our goals is to show people that it's possible, not just tell, but show people that, hey, someone has done this. This person is from your age set. They probably have a similar background as you, right? Our goal is to connect our beneficiaries to, people who've gone and walked this journey before them, and make our cohort feel like, it's possible to, achieve your dreams. And no matter the obstacles you might face, you actually you've got it within you.
And I'm sure even by virtue of learning a skill, that in itself raises someone's value.
Yeah.
Like learning a new skill, you've literally invested in yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it really uplifts them.
Yeah. There's a quote that says, and I'd like to tell a friend of mine this, someone said that when you acquire knowledge, that knowledge eventually wants to rule, right? So like, education is a great equalizer, and unfortunately, people who come from more privileged backgrounds are able to afford better educations that further perpetuate the wealth gap, right? But if we're not, and the digital divide is real. Like when you see it, I see it all the time in industry. So like what we try to do is, bring these skills to the underserved communities where, these problems exist. And hopefully people are able to create enterprises, get into consulting, get into internships. And so far we have had our successes, but of course we have had our fair share of challenges.
I'm going to echo a critical voice. A common misconception in Kenya is that there are no jobs in Kenya, there are no opportunities in Kenya. Kenya, there is nothing here. What do you say to that?
For me, I think there's a lot of good things happening in Kenya. UN are, I think, over 8,000 expatriates are moving to Kenya. Nairobi is becoming a diplomatic hub. If you look at, I think it was in 2023, Kenya raised, I think we were top 3 in Africa, where, we raised the most venture capital. So great things are happening in Kenya. I think if you look at even our inflation rates right now, they're hanging at 4%, 5%, fairly stable, right? If you look at, even from an investor's point of view, Kenyans are, fairly, very well educated. A lot of us, speak English, which is, the main language people use when doing business. So it is an attractive place to do business. It is an attractive place to, to invest, right? If you compare us to, other African countries, our neighbors, generally, and I know over the last year or two, we've had a bit of like political, we've had maandamano and stuff, but like generally we have political stability.
Yeah, that's true.
And these are things we don't appreciate until we get out of Kenya. Our infrastructure is generally good. I mean, we have 60-70% mobile phone penetration. I think about 60-70% of Kenya as well is connected to grid. So it is a good place to innovate. It's a beautiful country. Great things are happening here. I think it's a misconception when people say like, there's not enough good things happening here. Maybe you should move, do other things. If you look at some of the startups and innovators and some of the fantastic products that have come out of Kenya, M-Pesa, if you look at the Honeycoin, if you look at Shield, if you look at Hurupe, if you look at other innovators, even building Kenya and what you're starting, right? Fantastic things are happening in Kenya. I think the opportunities are there, but yeah, just like anything, principles of sowing and reaping. You must apply yourself. You must connect with people. You must talk to people. You must pursue excellence in anything it is that you're doing, right? So for me, great things are happening in Kenya. I think, and this is just a charge to youth, and anyone that's innovating, keep grinding and just, of course, apply yourself to principles, and great things are happening here, and we're part of the story.
Yes. That's so true. And I was even telling you this before. Foreigners can see value in Kenya. Why can't we as Kenyans see it and build from there? And just to follow up on that, what advice would you now give the youth of Kenya? What would you tell them? Maybe they want to better their lives. They're not in a good place financially. They're not getting jobs. What advice would you give that Kenyan?
Someone who's maybe starting a business.
They want to start something.
Maybe transition into proof of work opportunities. I think do a bit of research on what field you want to get into. I think talk to people. Talking to people is very, very important. This is a cliche quote, but your network is your net worth. So get into communities, the fantastic communities of builders, innovators. Join one that I'm very, very affiliated to, PLP community. If you're keen on, getting into accelerator programs, or you want to upskill in cybersecurity, or improve your communication and your pitching skills, I think this is one community that you could find value in. I would say also learn as much as you can about whether you're in marketing. Learn as much as you can about technology. Learn as much as you can about the creative space, right? Apply yourself to the discipline of knowledge and talk to people, and don't do it alone. Don't do this alone. Work with people, and I think that's what I would say.
Great advice, solid advice. And I hope anyone who's listening can really take that, because I think that's so valuable. And now for Shield, what legacy do you want to leave behind? What's the future for Shield, and what do you want people to remember Shield did for them?
Great question. So for us, over the next 10 years, we want to build a community of 50,000 entrepreneurs, right? Who are solving problems solving social problems that exist within their community. So for us, that's our goal. And we want to be remembered as, people that actually, created a framework and a pipeline to get into proof of work opportunities in data analysis, in software development, in AI engineering, in blockchain, and leveraging these skills to create their own ventures. For us, that's what success would look like.
Awesome. Now, for anyone who might want to maybe get involved in any way, or check out, maybe someone is listening to this, are really curious, they want to help you guys or get involved in any way, how can they reach you?
Feel free to check us on Instagram, shield_international. Check us out also on LinkedIn. That's social hub for innovation, entrepreneurship, leadership, and design thinking. Also check our website out, Shield International. That's shieldintl.org. Feel free to shoot us an email as well. More than happy to, set a meeting, make plans for the future.
So thank you. This has been really interesting for me to learn. Like I said, tech is a field I have no knowledge about. So it's been very interesting to learn what you're doing with Shield, the lives we've impacted. So thank you for being here, Eric. I've really enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you so much, Angela. Really grateful for the invite, and wishing you all the success going forward.
Awesome. So, guys, that was Eric Mureithi, co-founder of Shield International. This is Building Kenya, and it's the podcast that tells the stories of the founders, entrepreneurs, trailblazers, and creatives that are shaping this country's future. If you've enjoyed this conversation, kindly hit the subscribe button, like, and share with someone who needs to hear this. See you guys in the next episode. Bye.